Welcome to the Baton Rouge Macon High School Parents Forum panel discussion. I'd like to introduce you to three of our magnificent parents here at Baton Rouge Macon High School. First up is going to be Mr. Raj Iyer. His son is Jay Iyer. He's at the school. He's a senior this year. Mr. Iyer, if you'll say hello to the
Hello, good
audience.
evening. How's everyone?
All right, next up is Miss Bethany Gildersleeve. Her daughter is Camille Gildersleeve, and her sweet darling is a senior at Baton Rouge High School as well. Miss Gildersleeve, if you say hello to everyone.
Hello.
Awesome. And last but not least is Mr. Brian Hanaki. He is the father of a recent graduate, Justin Hanaki, and his darling daughters are there at Baton Rouge High School. If you'll say hello. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Our parents are going to share their honest opinions about what makes Baton Rouge High, Baton Rouge Macon High School. And our first question for you all as parents, in your opinion, when you were looking for a school and you chose Baton Rouge High School, what were you looking for and how did Baton Rouge High School provide that for you and your family? And anyone can go.
I'll go ahead and take that one. We were looking for a well-rounded education and something that would be academically challenging, but also give our daughter an opportunity to explore new interests, maybe things she hadn't tried before. Baton Rouge High has certainly lived up to that. There are a slew of different AP courses. I believe there's 30 or more AP classes that the children can take. She's taken advantage of many of those classes. She definitely feels challenged academically, but she doesn't feel overwhelmed. The teachers are very good about showing kids how to kind of set goals and meet those goals without becoming overwhelmed by them. From a more artistic side, she has danced since she was 4 years old, and so she was able to continue that at Baton Rouge High, which she was very excited about. She had to drop ballet outside of her studio, so she was happy to be able to add that back through school. She also had dabbled in music a little bit, and she was able to start off in one of the choirs her freshman year and has continued with that through her senior year. She loves it. So it's been great for her to find a balance between academics and arts. I also have a daughter who's a sophomore this year, and she as well has been able to find that balance. She's taking advantage of a lot of the honors and AP classes in her academics, but was able to try Piano 1 her freshman year, which was really great because she had not really had an opportunity to develop musically. And while it's something she decided kind of wasn't for her, she didn't end up continuing it. It was great that she was given the opportunity as someone who had never played an instrument really before, didn't know how to read music. She came in and just had a fabulous experience with Miss Hall in that Piano 1 class. And although she's not taking it further, she has a deeper appreciation for music as a whole. So it's a great, well-rounded experience. Whatever your child is interested in, whether it's math or science or business or art or theater, any of those things, we have the gamut here. Anything your kid wants to try, they certainly will have that ability and to be able to do that.
Thank you so much, Ms. Gildersleeve. Mr. Iyer, again, the same question, like what made Baton Rouge High School the choice you made? What did we offer that you were seeking for your son?
Hey, first and foremost, thank you for inviting me to participate in this forum. Really appreciative you taking the time to do so. And the reason I say that is when we look at Baton Rouge High and we talk about the legacy of excellence continues, for us, Baton Rouge High is a home that has been home for many years in our family with a number of relatives, including my own sister, who is today an OB, who received her college preparatory training in Baton Rouge Magnet High School. Jay, my son, is a senior, as you mentioned. He began his schooling in Baton Rouge at Buchanan Elementary in the gifted program, followed by Glasgow Middle, again in the gifted program. We were looking for, Jay was always a bit ahead, fortunately, in terms of his academics. He had the tenacity to want to take on bigger challenges academically, as well as wanted to be in an environment where it would foster his academic success via learning from others who are similar to him. So what we wanted for Jay is the ability for him to prepare for an Ivy League environment, which is where he plans to attend in 2021 upon graduation. And Baton Rouge High has absolutely afforded him all of the tools necessary to do so. Not only in terms of the classwork, the AP courses, uh, but really it comes down to the teachers at Baton Rouge High have taken a very personal interest in Jay, as they do all of the kids, to make sure and customize, if you will, the learning environment that is critical for each child to succeed in. Jay has had, I think we're coming up on probably 20 plus AP courses. He's got another 6 or so more to go. So I believe by the time he gets through, it'll be close to 30 AP classes that he would finish with. The rigor with which each of the courses have been set up so that Jay and his peers have the ability to succeed in their AP coursework, not just in terms of taking the exam and getting by, but scoring a 4 or a 5 in AP courses and being able to place that in their transcript and being able to handle a college prep type workload has just been a tremendous journey for Jay, and we're just so much grateful for the opportunity to be at Baton Rouge High.
Thank you so much, Mr. Iyer. Last but not least, Mr. Hanaki, what were you all seeking at Baton Rouge High School, and how have we been able to provide that for you and your family?
Sure. Thanks for the question. When we were looking for high school, or the decision of where my oldest would go to high school 4+ years ago now, we had a couple different options. My kids actually, all three of them went through the Catholic school system for their elementary and middle school years. And so that was kind of one of the just natural progressions, if we would just follow that path. But we were really looking for, as the other two parents have alluded to, really rigorous academic program. But I'll tell you what we really loved when we went to see Baton Rouge High, and that was the amount of diversity that exists at the school. I mean, we went and we did I know it's challenging in COVID to do this, but when we did the in-person tours, it looked like an entire diverse portrait of Baton Rouge in the high school itself. So it was just fantastic to see, such a intelligent group of kids from such diverse backgrounds all coming together and doing the rigorous academic work that they did, as well as the artistic work that they have done that was alluded to earlier. I mean, from music, which my kids have come from. My oldest son was a bass guitar player, and he quickly joined the jazz band there, which is just a fabulous program. I mean, these kids as musicians are playing at levels that you would see adults play at, as well as traditional art formats, as well as theater, as well as dance, as well as pretty much anything you can think of. It's covered the gamut. So seeing those strengths, and that's really what my son was looking for. We really, once we took a look at the school, really didn't have any doubt in our minds that Baton Rouge High was where to go.
Sorry. Thank you again. My next question is because I know many of our parents in the school are trying to determine why choose Baton Rouge High School in a pandemic, where we're on a hybrid schedule and we're initially virtual. How do you think the school has responded to the pandemic and making sure the students stay engaged despite them having to be virtual or hybrid throughout the process? And anyone can answer.
Sure, I'll go first. So it's fortunate that, at least in our experience, Baton Rouge High had made some strides along that line prior to the COVID crisis coming. I think this year provided the last push to get the technology out to all the kids so they could access classes remotely and get into all the different platforms, Google Classroom, etc., for their coursework. When my son was coming up through the through the high school, in the previous 4 years, I think there was a transition period where they were adopting that, but it's at this point it's completely entrenched. I think the teachers have done a fabulous job and worked really hard to keep the kids engaged and up to date academically. It's a challenge for everyone, them as well as the students, and I think they've done a really good job making that transition.
Thank you, Mr. Hanaki. I know our teachers will appreciate knowing that you all see the hard work they're doing. Either of our other parents, how do you think we've addressed the pandemic and making sure our students stay engaged?
Sure, Ms. Fortenberry, I'll go ahead and take it next. And that is, hey, first and foremost, I want to thank EBR School Board and the district that they have done a remarkable job overall. And the reason I start there is because I have a couple of kids, one, Jay, obviously at Baton Rouge High, and the other one who is still at Buchanan in the 5th grade. So thanks to the district in all the preparatory work, but in particular, Baton Rouge High has done a remarkable job of, number one, in terms of any type of crisis, communications is foremost the most important aspect of dealing with any type of crisis. And to that end, Baton Rouge High, beginning with our fearless leader in Ms. McCann and her staff, has truly been accessible at a time and hyper communicative in terms of, number one, what the plans are. Number two, how does it impact the personal aspects of each family, which has been super important because in this unfortunate incident and event, each family has a slightly different scenario that they're dealing with. So again, from our family, hey, our thanks to Ms. McCann and the Baton Rouge High staff and teachers for all the preparatory work. Finally, in terms of the coursework, Jay tells me that, Dad, we're virtual, but I think it's gotten a little bit more challenging than it was when I was in person. So I, as a parent, appreciate the continued rigor, even in a virtual environment.
Thank you, Mr. Iyer. Mrs. Gildersleeve, would you like to add anything to that?
Well, really, just to echo what both the gentlemen said, I've been very impressed with how seamlessly the transition really has occurred. It's very obvious that all of the teachers put a lot of time and effort into their lesson plans and figuring out how they can adjust, their traditional teaching methods in the classroom to a virtual or hybrid environment. I'll echo again, the communication has been incredible. I emailed Ms. McCann about a question one evening at about 7:30, thinking I'd get a response the next day. And at 8 o'clock, 30 minutes later, she responded and answered everything. And it's really amazing when you think of the number of students and the number of parents that people are able to get responses that quickly. Now that the kids are back in hybrid, both of my daughters did choose to go hybrid. They're very happy. It's fun to get back and see some of their friends and have that face-to-face instruction. But again, the last 2 days, I guess now, they have been virtual in the hybrid portion of it. They have done well with that too. So I can't say enough about all the hard work and how much we do all appreciate it, and how much our kids appreciate the hard work and effort that the teachers and the administration have put into making this all as smooth as possible.
Thank you so much. And we're going to move on to our final question of the evening. Sometimes parents have heard different things about Baton Rouge High School, about the rigor, about the challenge, about the time commitment. What would you say to those parents who are a little iffy about whether or not their students can handle the challenge of going to a school like Baton Rouge High School? So just think about that time commitment, the myth and the reality of what Baton Rouge High School is. And what would you say to a parent that's like, it may be too much? And anyone can answer.
I'll go ahead and start with that one. As we've said, the academic rigor, the number of AP courses, it's phenomenal. It truly is. But maybe not every kid wants to do the AP courses, and that's absolutely fine. With all of the academic courses, there are at least a couple different levels, I guess you could say, that you could take them. So, if your child really loves history or English, but maybe isn't a fan of math or science or vice versa, they don't have to take those higher level classes. That's absolutely fine. The teachers across the board do a fabulous job, no matter which class your child decides to take. Also, I would say take advantage of all the tutoring opportunities. That truly is another thing that amazes me. It's on the website most years, I know, but there's a list of every teacher and when they tutor. My kids have taken advantage of staying after school, for an hour or two to go to a group tutoring with a teacher. The Beta Club, the National Honor Society, they all offer free tutoring. So don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to reach out to those teachers, and ask for assistance from them as well, because I think every teacher and every administrator really wants their students to succeed. And, they will go above and beyond to make sure that happens. So, yes, it's a magnet school. Yes, the kids who go here, academically want to do well. But again, there's a lot of emphasis put on the well-being of the overall child, and you don't want anyone to feel too overwhelmed. And so between the guidance counselors and all the tutoring opportunities and all the teachers, helping out after school, I would say that's not really something to worry about. Obviously it's something you're going to consider, but there are just many, many avenues your child could take if they need extra help with something.
Thank you so much for letting us know that what we're doing to make sure every child is successful is being heard and parents know about it. It makes us feel really good here on staff. Anyone else can address that question?
Sure, I'll gladly go ahead and go next. Hey, to me, what we began with as parents when Jay kind of got in, and look, there's no question about it. Baton Rouge High has a college preparatory rigor. However, when you look at the course catalog and you look at the diversity of courses, the number of courses that are available at different levels in different subject areas, we were able to find a pretty good blend for Jay in what his interests were, matching up with what we knew he was required to take, again, from a college prep perspective. We also had the ability to space out certain classes depending on which year he wanted to take them in. For example, one year he doubled up in biology and chemistry. The next year he didn't necessarily need to do that. So we had the flexibility to go ahead and do so. So to me, I would indicate to any parent who's considering, it's not necessarily the coursework. Again, it comes down to the teachers almost customizing what the subject material is for each of the kids, depending on their level of acceleration or not. And they do a pretty good job of working with each of our children to do so. So I would not let that be something that makes you hesitate to come to Baton Rouge High.
Thank you, Mr. Iyer. Again, just hearing you all understand that we strive to make Baton Rouge High special for each student really makes me as a staff member, and I know our fellow teachers really appreciate, and our guidance counselors appreciate that you all know that we're here for your students. Mr. Hanaki, anything you want to add?
No, I guess I'd like to maybe be a little bit different voice in regards to the academic challenges, because I mean, Baton Rouge High is still Baton Rouge High, and it still has those students that are soaring high academically. So, it's a valid concern for a parent to, if they have that and they're concerned about their kids' academic ability. But as the other parents have alluded to, it's such a diverse and a wide, range of and of different levels of teaching, and the supports are all there to kind of help every single student achieve really what they kind of want to achieve. So there's some that are going to want to be, the top piano player. I think one of my son's classmates was this phenomenal jazz piano player, and he went and toured nationally after he was at the school. Not everyone's going to be that, but there is definitely the resources and support there for whatever your child wants to do at Baton Rouge High. And I think you said, the entire staff, both the administration and the teachers, are there to really make sure that the child gets every chance to succeed in what they aspire to be.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to say thank you to all of you again. Thank you for giving us the pleasure of having your magnificent children in our building and in our hearts. We will continue to strive to give them the very best education possible. And we thank you for all the support you continually show to Baton Rouge Magnet High School. Have a good evening.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
We're done early. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.